Kate, can you give us some background? Who are you? Why did you want to learn Turkish?
Sure. My name's Cate, and I wanted to learn Turkish because my daughter-in-law is Turkish, and we have met her family. We like them very much. Mostly, they don't speak English. One person does a little bit. So we're trying to be able to communicate with them.
When did you start learning Turkish?
About 2 years ago, almost exactly.
What have you tried so far to study
Uh,
Turkish?
So many things. We tried watching YouTube videos. We have Instagram people we follow. We do have a teacher, another teacher that we have been with for several years. Her teaching is great, and I think her style works a little bit better for my husband. And that's what made me choose Turkishle to kind of supplement, because I felt like I was falling behind a bit. And I was really nervous to speak. I just couldn't seem to speak. This program has really helped me with that. The other thing that I actually like quite a bit is a textbook called The Delight of Learning Turkish, I think it's called.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
have a nice workbook, good exercises. So after doing all of those things, we tried to simplify it a bit because we became overwhelmed and we were scattered. So now I'm sticking with this, and the classes with my husband, that's where we're at.
Okay, okay, amazing. And I think, Kate, most of the people start studying Turkish themselves. For a while, it goes great. They learn
Yeah.
words with Duolingo. Everything is so interesting. They're excited. And then there comes a point where they become so overwhelmed. They feel like they know so many random stuff, but
Mhm.
they cannot speak Turkish properly. It also depends on your motivation as well. You're not learning Turkish just to understand Turkish dramas, right?
Right,
You
right.
you're learning Turkish because you actually want to go to Turkey, visit your
Mhm.
daughter-in-law's family and live
Mhm.
there. So I believe that's a great motivation. You start with self-studying and you also
Mhm.
tried like having us, having another teacher. What do you think is the difference? Which one do you think is better for students to learn Turkish?
I like the idea of a combination of some type of text and a teacher or tutor. I guess the other thing that I feel has been missing for me in the past is some type of classroom situation, mainly because for me, I've looked everywhere in Milwaukee where I live. There's no opportunity for me to speak with someone, join anything. So outside of my hour that I'm learning or listening with a tutor or a teacher, I don't have any chance to speak. That for me, that's really important. My husband is able to memorize and talk and he's okay. But for me, I need to hear it. I need to use it. And I haven't had that opportunity in the past.
I think the community element of learning is so important too.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you feel like you're the only one learning, when you don't have other people with you or other Turkish people, it can feel alone and it can demotivate you. I also wanted to ask you, so you said you had a few books, you're implementing lessons with self-study.
Mhm.
But other than studying with grammar, textbooks, are there other resources? For example, Instagram pages. You mentioned, for example, like Turkish dramas. Any content that you consumed that helped you improve your Turkish?
Yeah, I love the Instagram page I like Turkishle's Instagram posts and stories. The vocabulary is nice because it's very realistic. And I think one of the problems when we're learning, especially with just a textbook, is that there are so many words that are used in multiple ways. I
Hmm.
found that I would be able to read a sentence and know all of the words in the sentence, but I still didn't know what it meant. I would get so confused about why does it mean this, but I don't understand it in this context. So those posts are nice because they give us an idea of, I can use it in this way, this way. I think there was one recently about heat or something like that, heat beer, something, and it said all the different things that it could mean and what context it could be used in. Those are really helpful.
Do you watch any Turkish series maybe or like any
I
Turkish
do.
music?
Oh, we listen to a lot of Turkish music, actually. And my husband is just a fanatic about that. I think I told you my daughter-in-law Surma is a singer, songwriter. So we listen to her. She has one album that's entirely in Turkish, and we've listened to that a lot. But that's pretty much impossible to translate. I tried to do that, and I was just like, I can't do it. And then as far as Turkish dramas go, I like them, but I have a terrible time trying to commit to watching them with just the Turkish subtitles and sticking with it and feeling like I even have any sense of what's going on. It's so fast. That is actually my next goal, is to just watch one that I already have watched in English and watch it with Turkish subtitles and just keep going no matter what. And hope I can just listen and get words that way.
You're totally right. It can be so difficult to understand everything because the Turkish spoken in the series are actually difficult for a learner at your level. For context, so you started the program when you were, I will say, you were in the middle of A1. Right now, you're finishing the A1 program with us. I want to ask you, so it's been 10 weeks now, and you were very consistent with your studies. You have done your homework, your coursework. You were active in the community part as well. Like, how did you stay motivated throughout this 10 weeks?
Well, I think like everyone, I have moments of, I don't know if I'm not motivated, but mostly I really am. I'm interested in language. My degrees in college are around English literature and counseling and therapy for my graduate degree. So I've always been interested in language in terms of just literature and reading. So the studying for this is interesting to me. And the fact that I'm doing it with my husband is motivating as well. We both are interested. It's a thing we are doing together. I feel like the lessons that are in the course are good amounts of time in the segments. So it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to start this great big long thing. Can do it in time segments that work out for us. And I think it's just fun. I just enjoy it. So
since you started, your speaking improved. How did that change your life? How is your life different?
It does change a lot because I would be stressed out about my lessons. I used to go into them kind of dreading them a little bit, even though I wanted to be in the lesson. I dreaded having to talk. And now I just feel like I'm just going to talk anyway. I'll do my best. And it allows some of that worry to go away so you can replace it with thinking while you're speaking. And I think that's what was missing before, is I was just sort of panicking and I was saying words that I don't even know where they came from. And so now I can actually think about my sentence, take my time a little bit. I don't feel so nervous.
I think that's a big part of speaking, learning a new language, just to learn not to be afraid of making mistakes, just to learn, go with it, because no one will judge you.
Some of the things that you wrote talked about that, some of your emails, and also I think I was only in a few of the Q&A sessions, but the one that I was in, maybe the first or second time, I remember that she said, sometimes as a teacher, I just want to reach in and pull out my students' tongues. And I thought, yeah, I bet, that is a thing. You probably would rather have someone talk and at least try than just kind of sit there. So that made me feel better, like I was being a better student, even though I couldn't speak, if I at least tried.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And do you have any plans to go to Turkey in the near future?
Yes. We are talking about having the Turkish wedding. We had my daughter and son got married in New York to kind of start the green card process. And the Turkish wedding is maybe happening in September or October. It's difficult with the economy, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but we're definitely going back no matter what.
Congrats, hayırlı olsun. You will see the Turkish wedding as well. I think it's quite different. I don't know about the weddings in America, but I think quite different, right? Like when you compare it with Turkish weddings.
Yes, very different, very different.
What was the most challenging part
Of the
about
course?
Turkish? Yeah.
Oh, I think balancing learning and keeping up with vocabulary and focusing on the grammar part of it. Those early vocabulary words are quick and I feel like they kind of get cemented. But then as you go along, it starts to feel a bit overwhelming to try and keep up with the vocabulary and the coursework. And I've just noticed that all along in general, that I sometimes can't decide how to spend my time.
And other than that, when it comes to Turkish itself, for example, like did you find the suffixes challenging or the
Oh,
grammar, pronunciation?
pronunciation is getting, I understand it and I had just a difficult time at first doing it, but it's very clear. Once you just practice, I feel like that's better.
Hmm.
The cases are difficult sometimes, remembering really, it's just remembering to use them, especially dative case. You know, some of them just make sense and they fit very well with English, so I don't forget them. But dative case, I forget all the time. And also I think just sentence structure sometimes is confusing because think of it now as kind of the opposite of English, but then every once in a while it's exactly the way English would be. And I can't ever remember or figure out why those sentences are that way versus the other ones.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of things. I'm sure just practice will help.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes to your speaking, what do you think helped you the most for improving your speaking? Was there like speaking classes or anything else as well?
Oh, that's a good question. Speaking classes definitely help because of just the hesitancy at first. But I do think that learning the grammar a little bit more and remembering this, that I need to finish with my verb, the remembering to just think a little bit before I start. All of that has helped. And honestly, vocabulary, that's where I start to think, oh, I know what I want to say, just have to remember the words. So I have to fit that vocabulary back in somehow to get it so that it's more, so that, you know, sweater is just as quick for me as merhaba, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a mix of everything together. It can't be just speaking or
Right.
hearing Turkish because I know so many foreigners living in Istanbul for years and their Turkish is not improving. The only reason is that because they're not using it, they're conscious, they don't put any effort. I think you're a good example of someone who learned Turkish, even though like there are not a lot of Turkish people around you. I think you're an inspiration for many people. And if that's fine with you, I would like to speak some Turkish with you.
Tabii
Okay.
ki.
Tamam. Tamam. Peki. Just as a reference again, you start from A1 and you're right now at the end of A1. Okay. So, Kate, nasılsın?
Nasılsın? Uh, oh, I just didn't answer your question. İyiyim, iyiyim. Teşekkür ederim.
Tamam, süper. Kate, sen nerelisin?
Uh, Amerikalıyım. Milwaukee'de oturuyor.
Hı hı, tamam. Ee,
Oturuyorum.
süper. Peki ne iş yapıyorsun?
Uh, iş ne demek physical therapy?
Fizik, fizyoterapi.
Ah, iş fizyoterapi çalışıyorum.
Tamam, süper. Peki Türkiye'ye gidecek misin?
Evet, Türkiye, İstanbul'a ve Bodrum'a ikinci gittim. Ama sonbahar
Hı hı.
hocam ve ben İstanbul'a gelecek.
Ha, süper, süper. Peki Bodrum mu daha güzel yoksa İstanbul mu daha güzel?
Zor soru. Aa, Bodrum'a çok güzel çünkü deniz ve yaz tatlı. Um, tatil. İstanbul, İstanbul çok güzel ve eski güzel. Um, İstanbul'a daha çok güzel.
Tamam.
Evet.
İstanbul biraz daha kalabalık.
Ah,
İstanbul yani çok büyük. Bodrum'a göre çok daha büyük. Ama ben de
mhm.
Bodrum'u çok seviyorum. Çünkü Bodrum çok sakin, çok fazla insan yok, kalabalık değil. O yüzden ben de seviyorum. Kate, Türkçe müzik dinliyorum dedin. Türkçe şarkılar dinliyorum dedin. Sevdiğin Türkçe şarkıcı var mı?
Evet. Türk Türkçe şarkı Altın Günü.
Hı hı.
Um, kocam benim kocam Altın Günü seviyor. Çok seviyor. Ve sırma çok seviyorum. Let's see. Ne zaman Bodrum'a Zeki Müren Müze
Oo,
gittim. Gitti. Gitti.
tamam.
Çok eğlence. Çok ilginç.
Evet,
Evet.
Zeki Müren çok ünlü bir sanatçı. Yani Zeki Müren aslında bir efsane.
Evet. Zeki Müren gibi Amerika'da I forgot his name. Uh, da unuttum. Hmm,
Tamam.
düşünüyorum. Evet.
Sırma'ydı değil mi? Gelininin ismi Sırma.
Hı hı.
Evet. Sırma'nın ailesiyle Türkçe mi konuşuyorsun?
Evet. Sırma ailenin ailesi. Sırma'nın
Hı hı,
ailen.
hı hı.
Um, babası İngilizce konuşuyor ama uh, anne uh, İngilizce yok değil. Um, Sırma'nın annesi Instagram mesaj yazıyorum.
Ya, süper.
Türkçe yazıyorum. Evet. Um, yazıyor. O yazıyor. Çok çok ve ne zaman sana
S- s-
yazıyor.
Hı hı, hı hı,
I write to her.
hı
Uh,
hı.
çok kısa.
Ha, tamam, tamam. Olsun, olsun. Peki bugün ne yapacaksın Kate?
Bugün hava çok soğuk. Aa, yani Mavis benim köpeğim
Hı hı.
um, uyuyor ve pişiyorum. Yemek yapıyorum.
Ah,
Um,
tamam,
yeah.
tamam,
Um, ve alışveriş merkezi errands.
tamam, tamam. Alışveriş merkezine gideceksin.
Evet.
Tamam.
Um,
Milwaukee büyük bir şehir herhalde, değil mi?
Konuşulabilir tekrar.
Tabii ki. Mesela İstanbul çok büyük bir şehir.
Hı hı.
Milwaukee büyük bir şehir mi?
Aa, aa, hayır. Um, Milwaukee'de İstanbul, İstanbul, I think İstanbul'a çok daha küçük.
Hı hı, hı hı.
Um, Wisconsin'de büyük şehir yok.
Hmm,
Hı
tamam,
hı.
tamam, peki. Milwaukee'de, ha, benim Milwaukee ile alakalı bildiğim tek şey galiba basketbol takımı. Milwaukee
Aa,
Bucks.
Yanis.
Evet, Yanis var.
Evet.
Yanis var.
Evet. Milwaukee, let's see. Basketball, uh, oyuncu,
Hı hı.
oyun, bir basketbol oyuncu. Benim bina oturuyor.
Aa, gerçekten mi?
Evet. Ve let's see, konuşuyoruz çünkü o Rolls Royce araba var.
Oo.
Um, gidiyoruz park, I don't know, parking lot,
Park, evet, park. Doğru.
park, uh, uh, araba ya gördü. I'm trying to say we all look at his car.
Hı hı.
Ya,
Tamam,
çok,
tamam.
çok güzel, çok pahalı.
İyi, güzel. Aa, şanslısınız o zaman. Yani güzel bir komşu, iyi bir komşunuz var.
Evet.
Ee, güzel. Peki. O zaman Kate, çok teşekkürler. Now, şimdi we can switch to English again. Okay, my last question will be like, would you recommend Turkishle program to people who want to start from scratch or who want to improve their speaking?
Oh, absolutely. Kesinlikle. I definitely would. I think it's a great place to start. It's very organized. It's very well thought out. All of the teachers are so positive and so encouraging. Yeah, I would recommend it.
Amazing. I'm happy to hear that. And you have been a great student. Honestly, I just wanna show your um weekly plan, weekly progress actually, just to show people how much you worked for this. So you have completed most of the program, all the coursework you have done, homework, challenges. We are really proud of you as a team. We are happy to have you as a student in the program.